This week has been a little weird, so I really don't know how this video is going to turn out, but hopefully it's not too bad and you still like it. So enjoy! I started this week by taking a little bit of time to plan ahead for what I wanted to achieve in the next few days. One of the big difficulties of working on any project by yourself is that you have so much freedom that sometimes it's hard to decide what to prioritize. It's also difficult to come up with new ideas when you don't take the time to step back from the actual work and let your creativity take over for a little bit. To start off the week, I decided to work on something you haven't really seen yet. The whole idea behind this app came from a prototype that would show the user in a very clear and visual way how much trash he had saved using non-disposable items. A simple way to show the trash you've been saving piling up on the screen of your phone rather than in a landfill. At that point, it was exactly the same as when I made the quick prototype, so I went back to it to slowly make it better. Namely by allowing the user to scroll through all the trash if he feels like it, or to speed up the visuals of the trash filling up the screen. I also wanted to make sure whenever the user went back to the screen, he would see the small progress he had made since last opening the screen. I worked on that for a little bit and went for a walk by the river. So, I've been working on the features I was talking about a little bit earlier in the video, the ones I wrote in my notebook, and up until now I never really did that exercise of trying to find out like reasonable number of what could be in the app at some point. For the basic 3 items I have, which are, styrofoam cups, paper coffee cups, and water bottles, I went online and I looked at how much of these 3 items were thrown away on average by a single American every year. I recorded the whole thing, and that's how it looks in the app. And I honestly don't know what to think about it. It's kind of mind-boggling, and it sucks because I know that I'm part of the problem as well, but seeing it like this is so jarring and ridiculous that, well, first of all, it makes me kind of sad, but definitely makes me motivated to finish this, because I think there definitely is value for people to see how much they're actually saving by their actions, because it's ridiculous what a single year can produce. Even if the visualization tool is still far from perfect, it was better than how it started the week, so I decided to work on something a little different on Tuesday. I am not a designer at all, so getting started with designing something a little bit more appealing is pretty daunting. But the faster I got started on it, the faster I would end up with something I'm happy with. most likely after going through a bunch of iterations. I know it's nothing impressive, but for a first go, I was pretty happy with what I had come up with. After a little break and a quick dinner, I kept trying to push my productivity and at least get started on designing the goal screen too. I got up pretty late on Wednesday, so I decided to jump right in and work on implementing the UI for the goal screen I had designed the previous evening. After fighting through a couple of little issues, remember I'm still working out the kinks of no programming for a while, I took a little break and went to get some fresh strawberries at a local market. And just as I sat down to get back to work, my girlfriend decided to pick a fight with our coffee table. Unfortunately, the table won and we had to go to the hospital. Fortunately, she only dislocated a toe, so she was already walking by the time we got out. So if you remember from last week's vlog, I said that the design process and like making the app ready would be a process with a lot of back and forth and a lot of backtracking. Well, after one day of making one of the views for the app and designing it, I'm already pretty unhappy with how it looks. So even though I did it yesterday, I'm still going to go back and redo it a little bit differently today. The stream Alright, so the basic setup. Thank you, passing car. Okay, so the basic setup for adding new goals is there. The UI is there, and the layout is there. I just have to make things a little bit prettier now, and there's still the biggest part remaining, which is going to be to do some kind of like horizontal UI picker so you can go between all the different disposable items that are in the app and pick the one you want to make a goal for. As always, my Friday was spent editing and writing and recording the voiceover from this video. So this was my week. Sorry if it was a little bit deconstructed in the end. I tried to do my best with the video, but I guess that's just the reality of doing vlogs and stuff like that. Sometimes stuff just gets in the way and it gets a little bit complicated. But I hope you liked it anyway, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.